My name's Sowden. I'm the guy waving his arms around at the front there. I'm going to talk to you for a few minutes about the key concepts within project management. First thing to remember is that a project creates things. All right. If you have a project that doesn't create things, it's not actually a project, it's something else. So a project can create anything, all right, whether it's a garden shed or one of those fantastic buildings in Dubai. We also could be writing a report, creating a document, or putting some IT infrastructure together, whatever it could be. As long as there's a deliverable or a product or an output at the end of it, it can be a project, and the project management methods will work for it. So a couple of key concepts. Number one, products. These are things we produce. Deliverables. These are the things that the project has to deliver, funnily enough, and outputs is what the project creates. Now, those might sound very similar, and that's because they are, because we interchange the use of those words in the project management world. Products, deliverables, and outputs are all exactly the same things, just depends which organization you're in, and they'll decide what terminology they want to use. Another key idea is quality, which is where you specify what you want, so when the project delivers it, you know it's been successful. So if you want a small garden shed or a large garden shed, where you want it to be placed in the garden, that kind of thing. Quality is a very key concept, and it's quite a troublesome area in projects. The other thing that a project is limited by is time. Project teams are always running around shouting about deadlines. It's because that is what they're measured against. So there's always some sort of time limit on what you're doing. If you've got to create something and there's no time limit on it, then it's probably not a project, because nearly all the techniques and skills and processes are around keeping to time, understanding what the products are, and making sure we deliver the right quality. So some key terminology you might want to stay familiar with: total time, which is maybe how long you've got to do it, a year, whatever it happens to be. We got to think about time by tasks, how long will each job take, possibly each deliverable might take a different amount of time, and then time by individuals and certain resources. How much time of theirs do we need to get this job done? The third dynamic in the project is cost. All right, projects are always constrained by cost, and the cost is determined by the quality specification of a product. So if you want a big building, it's going to cost you more than a small building. If you want a big ship, it costs more than a small ship. So this is a limiting factor. So we've got to think about all sorts of elements. But when we're thinking about the project cost, we've got to think about the things we're going to use to create something. So this can involve things like machinery, specialists, and technology. Anything that we consume to create something is a cost, and we need to factor that in to our planning. So the final dimension on project management is the people. All projects need people to get the job done. So some of the areas that we need to consider and some of the roles you might be familiar with. So the project sponsor, or the project SRO, or senior responsible owner, they're accountable to the business for the successful delivery of the project and making sure the business gets what it wanted. We've got the project manager. They tend to be very stressed people running around organizing everybody else, worrying about deadlines and worrying about budgets. We've then got users. They're the people that will be using whatever the outputs are. Yeah, whether it's your garden shed, an IT system, or the road. They will actually be really important to this, and we need to understand what they need to be successful. Then there's the suppliers, the people that are providing specialists, machinery, technology, cement, tarmac, whatever it happens to be that you're using to build the asset that you're going to create. Finally, there's the stakeholders, the people around the periphery of the project who may be involved. They could be the people beside the road when the road's being built. They could be the people who are paying for the system or paying for the new facilities, but are not actually the sponsors. So stakeholders come in many different forms. quick reminder on what we've covered. 4 areas: roles, the project manager, the project sponsor, and all the people that are in and around the project that are going to make this stuff happen. All projects are bounded by time. There's a start and a finish and steps in between, which we normally call stages. So time is a crucial element. A project without a time boundary is probably not a project. Secondly, there's the concept of quality. Now, we talked about the project will always be producing stuff, whether we call it an output, deliverable, or a product. What we need to do is define what we want, get it built, and then sign off the acceptance of it. That's the quality area of the project. And finally, we got to think about cost. All projects are limited in terms of the amount of resources they can use to build the asset. So you're always going to have that constraint, and time, cost, quality is quite famously referred to as the iron triangle in project management. So thanks a lot for listening. That's a very quick rumble through what the concept of project management is. Hope you found it interesting. I hope you're going on to do one of our courses, or maybe go and listen to one of our other videos. Now, before you rush off, I'd just like to introduce some of the things that we can do for you in Aspire Europe. We've got the biggest portfolio of materials to cover program, project and change management. We can offer over 40 qualifications, and we can customize your learning journey to fit your exact needs wherever they happen to be. We have materials that cover the UK government competency framework called PDCF, or the APM competency framework. Whatever it is you need to help you with your career, we can help you with learning. So please get in touch with us. Our number's on the screen, our email address is on the screen, and of course you can follow us on LinkedIn, where we publish articles regularly and we'll put our special offers out there. So we really hope that we get the chance to engage with you again in the future.